Hi guys, it's today the 11th of September, and I have decided to propagate my Monstera, a Borsigiana that I've got for my birthday. So I've had this one since July, mid-July, so July, August, September, so it's about a month and a half, so 6 weeks old. I have been wanting to propagate it, so today I have decided to do this. So it's kind of a moment where I just feel like doing it. So this lovely plant has been growing in my fish tank for 6 weeks, and since I've had it, the leaves has grown so much bigger, and down the bottom is my fish tank, my baby fish tank that was born 4 days ago. And because I've had it down here, the roots has grown nicely, 6 weeks in here, but it should have been a lot more roots, so I've decided to repot it and put it on sphagnum moss. This one has a node which I can feel it's coming out, so I've decided to cut that and put it in another container. Now the body is it changed the shape. Instead of facing that way, it's bending down because of the flow and how I placed it in the fish tank. So I'm going to cut this one off right there. So that's how I'm going to do. And then this is the younger leaves, so I'm hoping that this will thrive for me. I'm going to put it in the dried sphagnum moss that I have just soaked right here into water. Of course, I'm going to squish the water like so, not too dry, not too wet. I have watched other people do it, so I'm guessing that it worked, because a lot of people are doing it in sphagnum moss. This is a very high quality sphagnum moss which I have got from Bunning. I'll just show you how good it is. So this is going to be my little planter for the big one, because it's quite long, so I'm going to place it right there and allows plenty of room for the new growth. So I won't be planting it for at least a couple months or a month, depends how well the thing. But I do have a real sphagnum moss that I'm going to put this one for this particular leaf. So I'm going to do one real live sphagnum moss, and then the other one I'm going to do the this one here, which is the soaked one. So I have used an orchid mix sphagnum moss, which is a really good quality. This one here, so as you can see, propagation sphagnum moss, ideal for decorative pots or top dressing for all pots, or obviously propagation. Helps retain water and nutrients in the pots and basket. And also this particular one expands to 10 liters, so there's quite a lot. So I have just used half of these into here, so I will have plenty. So that's my one that I'm going to use into this particular one, which is the actual smaller version. So let me just cover that with a sphagnum moss right there, and I'm just going to squish the water. So let's move this little one over here. As you can see, just going to squish a little bit of the water there, and then just lightly spread it into my container. Now I'm using an old lolly jar that I purchased a while ago, so obviously not too dry, not too wet. I was going to use it for planting in the actual container, but I have decided to just put it into my sphagnum moss instead and grow this one. And I do have a grow light here, so I'm going to push this fish tank out, or just leave it here, depends, see how I feel. So now I'm just going to cut this plant. OMG, here's my little tool. I have already washed it with hot water, so hoping that it will not give it a bacteria. And also I'm just gonna cut this one in here. So here we go. Here's a moment in history, which I'm hoping it will give me roots. Please do. Okay, ready guys? Oh my god. Ready, set, go. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna die if it doesn't leave for me, because you know what, this is a very expensive plant. It's not something you just buy every day. So, okay, I am hoping that this will live. So I'm just gonna put some aloe vera into this one just to help it not root. So just one sec. Okay, so according to some people, they say that putting aloe vera on the freshly cut nodes will stop the plant from rotting. So I'm going to follow that instruction and hoping that it will do the same. So I'm going to just place it in here for a couple of hours, like so. And hopefully that will be okay. So how I'm going to place it's another story. So there goes the love. I just wonder if I just put the aloe vera in there to keep it moist. How about that? I mean, it's already got a little bit, so it should be alright. I just don't want too much water into it and wreck it. So anyway, let's just do that. And my hand is very sticky. So this is my other leaf. Now I have two, and please grow for me, do not die for me. And then this is obviously the nodes. I know it's still very young, so it's probably not a good thing to do. I can see a new leaf coming through there, but I'm just gonna experiment and do this thing and put some more of that sphagnum moss for my plants to grow. So let me grab some more. Now, I don't want too much water because it is still a little bit cold in here, but it's starting to warm up. So I wonder if I just have that one too dry. Maybe it's too dry. Let's just put it back again. I think I squished too much of the water. Don't want to squish too much of the water, so let's just pop that one in there for now. It's the only way I could have more than one plant. I just don't want to spend another $1,000 for another leaf. So that would be another challenge. So let me just experiment. It's an expensive experiment, but hey, people are doing it and they seem to be doing it right, so I'm sure it will work. I'm just gonna fill that up, and of course check my water content within a week, see if that's actually okay. I'm just gonna fill it up all the way to the very top. I better not squish too much of the water because then it's too dry then. Okay, so that should be enough now. It should give the plants plenty of space to grow the roots. I'll just put some on the top. And let it airing, not actually compact it in there, because you want the air to come in as well. And hopefully that will grow straight now, it's not bending. So there's my very first one. I hope that it will live. Obviously the roots, the actual leaves will give me a good indication whether the plant is happy in there. Okay, so we'll just leave it like that. Here you go, guys. I hope I haven't squished the water too much. I might just not squish too much. Let it soak. Okay, so there's my furs. Okay, so there you go. Here's my first propagation of my Monstera Borsigiana for the first time in sphagnum moss. And there's my first plant. So please grow for me, do not die. So there's my first. So now the second one. Let's get rid of my water. Pop it in somewhere else. See my bucket of water, my fish water. Okay, the next one is this one here. Now this, again, I'm going to put a little bit of aloe vera into the cut. Apparently it stopped the plant from rotting. And plus I'm not putting in too much water anyway, so. And now I have a little bit of sphagnum moss in here that I have from the previous one. So I'm just gonna put the one in there. And I do have a real sphagnum moss live one, so I'm gonna go and get that. Okay, I don't actually have a lot, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the real one on the top and then cover it with, or place it on the top and then use the dried one on the bottom. So I might have to make some more. Okay, so I'm going to make some more of this dried sphagnum moss and have some more of my on my plant because I don't have a lot of the real sphagnum moss or the live one, or I might just decided to just do. So this is a really good quality, as you can see. It doesn't have extra twigs that other sphagnum moss does. I can't remember how much I paid for it, probably around about $10 per packet or $15, can't remember. So anyway, this is a really good quality and I'm hoping that this will help. Well, according to a lot of people who's done the propagation, it works well with sphagnum moss. The roots grows nicely, so I'm going to do the same as what they say. So there's a lot there, as you can see. Okay, so I'll just use that much. I won't use any more. Okay, so I'm just soaking it. And then squeeze the excess water. And I'm just going to squish it a little bit. There you go, so it's not so cloggy. And then just place that one into the jar, like so. Now I do have a long roots for this one already, so I'm going to try to put around the roots, like so. Now I know a lot of people are using a small amount in a small jar, but I'm going to keep it into this big jar for a little while. I'll see how long the roots is going to develop into this beautiful, healthy looking plants. So there's my first layers. Now I'm going to try to put the I'm not sure, I think I might have dried it too much. It's okay. Okay, so now we're just going to put the live moss. Now where did I put that one now? Okay. I'm going to put the thin layers of live moss on the top, because obviously it's going to be able to see the light. I mean, have the light into the grow to grow the live moss. Down the bottom is not real, it's not live one, so it doesn't really matter if it doesn't get the light, as long as it's not compacted, so the air can still, the plant can still breathe. And I have my live moss, so I'm just going to put it on the top. It's a little bit wetter than the actual fake one, but it will drain down the bottom because I did squish a little bit of water. I took a little bit of water. So there's my, and I might do the same with the other one just to cover it, to use all my live moss. I have to obviously assess the situation in a couple of days. Hopefully it's not going to rot. And I might have to mist this every day just to keep my live moss moist, because it's not fake one. And hopefully it'll grow more, supposedly. A kilo of this live moss was purchased on eBay for $30. So it is it's not something cheap when you want to get something real, really. So okay, so here's my, I might just put a little bit of water because I think I've squished the sphagnum moss too much. Okay, here we go. So there's my first propagation for my Monstera. OMG. I just hope that I have made the right decision in propagating it. I would like to have it sitting up nice and straight, not sideways. There we go. Here's my plants, here's my two plants. And I'm hoping this will be growing nicely in this medium, which is the sphagnum moss. I dried sphagnum moss soaked with water, and then I added on top some live sphagnum moss, which is moistured by water as well. And there's the bottom, and I have it on the top, so there's plenty of room for little roots to grow. It can be here for a couple of months, depends how fast the roots is going to grow for me. So guys, wish me luck that I have made the right decision to propagate my two leaves Monstera Borsigiana that I've had for my birthday. Now I'm just crossing my fingers that it will work. So this is my lovely babies, my most favorite collectible plants. So, and the others that I also got on sphagnum moss that are doing really well are my Manjola pothos. So I might redo this one and have their own very own jar itself, because at the moment I've just put it on a mixed one in there. So I'm gonna try to do that tomorrow. But they are looking great. Look at this one. This one's just perfect. Look at the leaves. Isn't that beautiful? So I had it on the water, but unfortunately the water is still a little bit cold. So some had died. But look at this one. So I had purchased it the way it is, that it had a little bit of a damage from the wind. That's why I got the 2 leaves for the price of 1. And now I have propagated it, and I'm hoping that it will continue to live, not die on me. Hopefully it's not too cold for these plants, so I am hoping that this actual plant idea on sphagnum moss will live for me. Now I have got a lot in there compared to this one, which I probably should have more on this one. I could top it up a bit more of the fake one, because it is a longer plant, so I could cover a bit more, but that's should be fine. It'll be okay. Alright guys, thank you for watching my propagation. So I hope that it will live for me, because I am a little bit worried that it doesn't. I'm pretty sure this one will be alright. I'm just worried about the second one because it doesn't have an area of roots yet, but it did have a node, and the node is where the roots is going to come through. So this is my little area and my favorite plants. So guys, thanks for watching. I will keep an update on my plants in the near future.